Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm going to be reacting to how yogis live without food and water. Sadhguru. So this is a request. If you have a request, please leave it in a comment below and please leave a link to it. So it's very difficult to believe that people can live without food and water. However, there's I think a rule of three, 3 days without what is it 3 days without sleep. Is it 3 days without sleep? 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. Oh god, I can't remember what it is. The rules of three, but 3 days, like 3 days, I think, without water, and 3 weeks without food. So, if you have very extreme control over your body, I do believe it to be possible. But I'm wondering how long, though. Let's see what he says.
If you keep your mind in a certain way, the amount of extra energy that you have is enormous. Within 3 days, we can teach you a simple form of meditation, which will bring down your metabolism by approximately 24%.
I need to increase
If
mine.
you sit here, you have no sense of body. It is from this that a yogi is sitting.
Sadhguru, we have heard many stories of people who enter into a deep state of meditation and they forego basic human necessities like thirst and hunger for several months together. But science says that a person can die within 10 days of not drinking water. So can you please explain us how such a state of metabolism can be attained?
For this, you will have to bend your mind a little bit because it's not in your textbook like this. Just day before yesterday, somebody sent me a message from the yoga center. There is something called as Jnanalinga. This happens very often, but this happened to a foreign national, so the message came to me little concerned. So this person went and sat in Jnanalinga at 7 o'clock in the morning, because everybody gets only a 15-minute slot to sit there because of the number of people. She sat there at 7 o'clock in the morning. She did not move till 3 p.m. How many hours is that? 3 plus 8 hours. She just sat there unmoving. She didn't realize that she's sitting that long. She thought she's going to sit for a 15-minute slot.
Yeah, I guess if…
So they sent a message to me.
Sorry, I guess the space bar wasn't pausing. Yeah, I guess, you know, if you really go out of focus where you're not really thinking much, time can fly by. Has it happened to me before though? I don't think… it may be at some points, but usually it's because I'm busy. I don't… my mind's usually always busy.
Sadhguru, like this, she's not moved, should we disturb her? I said, leave her alone, it's okay. Like this it happens. Once it happened, I sat down way back. I thought… this was new to me also at that time. I thought I'm going to… I sat there for 25–30 minutes. When I opened my eyes, a huge crowd in front of me in a village, garlands around my neck, they're all trying to pull my legs, in India. India being what it is. And the moment I open my eyes, somebody wants to know about his business, somebody wants to know when his daughters will get married, all kinds of things. Then I say, where did all you idiots come from?
Bit harsh.
They say, you've been sitting here for 13 days. And so, what happens in the system? That's what you're asking. See, right now, I'm speaking. If you check my pulse, it's somewhere around 55, 58, in that region. If I simply sit quietly, it'll drop below 40. If I simply sit down and I'm doing something without interaction, talking, moving, if I simply sit, it'll drop below 40. Now this is at ease.
You know, out of all my entire living life, I guess I never really pay attention to people's heartbeats. I guess they say the average heartbeat's about 1 per second, I guess? 1 to 2 per second? But man, 40? Whew. that does take a lot of control, I will say. And man, I don't know if I could ever do. Well, I could try, but I don't think I could ever do that. I would like
This
to
will
try.
not build any unnecessary friction inside. So the amount of energy it consumes is very low. You, all of you medical students, you know this, 20% of the energy in the body is consumed by your brain, though it is hardly a pound and a half at the most. So, this much body is consuming 20% of the energy. This much body is consuming only 80%. If you compare this and this in weight, what, it's 50 times more, much more. So, you must understand, if you keep your mind in a certain way, the amount of extra energy that you have is enormous. Because you're not unnecessarily consuming, wasteful usage of energy is not happening. This is true with every system. Whether it's a car, whether it's a machine, whether it's anything, how friction-free it is running, that much energy will come down, isn't it? Anything that's happening with big friction will consume enormous amount of energy. So physiologically, psychologically, energy-wise, if you bring friction-free function of your system, metabolism will drop and you will function very efficiently, because when you want to pitch it up, you have a whole range to pitch it up. When you want to lower it, it's there. Right now, the range that most people are carrying is very, very small. If you push them into activity, they will get totally tired out. If you don't… if they have nothing to do, they will freak. If you have nothing to do, you freak, isn't it?
Kinda, I mean… I don't know, I guess, at least in my mental state, is that there's always something to do, productive to do, even though I'm not generally productive. I am and I'm not. But yeah, I guess most people cannot just sit. I mean, this is something he's also talked about in his other videos, and just meditation is basically that as well, just to free your mind of thoughts and just to relax. Good, I think honestly everyone needs to do it. I need to do it, but it's just so difficult when there's just so much to do. And well, I guess you don't really have to do a lot of things just to give yourself maybe 30 minutes of your day to meditate, to make you feel better for the rest of the day.
So in this condition, it'll not go down.
Yeah.
Now, everything that you consume is higher simply because you're at a higher RPM, that's all. We can… within 3 days we can teach you a simple form of meditation which will bring down your metabolism by approximately 24%. This is the highest drop that you can have in conscious states of meditativeness.
Okay.
If metabolism drops beyond that, you will not have any sense of body.
I have a feeling that very many people can accomplish that.
If you sit here, you have no sense of body. It is from this that a yogi is sitting. See, if you sit down here, even if you don't have a watch, your legs, your back, your bottom, everything is keeping time, isn't it? Hello?
Everything's keeping time? I suppose so. I mean, I'm assuming he's meaning basically that your body is still aging, I guess.
You don't need a watch. If you sit here for 3 hours, you know you need to get up. Body knows. So, someone is sitting for hours or days because there is no sense of body. Why there is no sense of body is not only because of drop in metabolism, it is also the intensity of your energy which is not biological energy. Another dimension of energy is fully intense. Once it pervades the entire body, you have no sense of body. If I go into your program 10 hours, 12 hours, I am the only one continuously drinking water, but I am the only one who will not go to the restroom, I'm the only one who will not take a break. Everybody, every 2 hours they take a break and come back. Simply because how identified you are with your physiological process determines these things to start with. But there is also sadhana, there is also certain work to be done with your system. So everybody may not be willing to do that level of sadhana, but everybody must do some sadhana. Something so that what you wish to do, you can do effectively. Whatever it is in your life you wish to do, you must be able to do it as well as you can. What the hell you do is not my concern, but whatever the hell you're doing, you must do it well, isn't it? Hello? You must do it well. That's very important for a human being, that we must do it well. So for this, it's very, very important that your own body and your own mind is not an impediment. Your own body and your own mind doesn't trip you all the time. They must be platforms on which you stand. Right now, people have sunk into it. See, this is a platform, it's good. Suppose it lets you sink into it, it's not a good place to sit and talk, isn't it? It's holding us up, so it's nice. Your body, your mind should hold you up all the time. If that happens, your dependence on the outside will come down. And also, water is not always consumed through the mouth. Body consumes water in so many ways. If you activate the system in a certain way, it consumes energy. See, right now you're eating food, drinking water, breathing air, everything for what? To generate energy. But science has clearly proved to you there's enough energy everywhere. So if you're able to take in energy as it is, if you're able to imbibe energy, how is this possible? The word yoga means just this. The word yoga means you're beginning to obliterate the boundaries of your individuality. Right now, this is me, that's you, 100% clear, isn't it? Why? Because you think this body is me, that body is you. This is a clear boundary. My body and your body has a clear boundary. My mind and your mind also largely has a boundary. Here and there we may overlap a little bit.
I know I'm not pausing very much, but just because there's not too much I can really say. I'm basically learning on this one. But I kind of have to pause it just because I feel kind of wrong letting the video play throughout, but I'm trying to see where he's trying to get with this. I'm understanding most of what he's saying, and I'm curious about the energies. I mean, obviously there's energies all around us, but to say that our body could absorb it, I think.
But there is no such thing as my life and your life. Have you ever blown soap bubbles, or were you a serious boy even when you were in school? No. Did you blow soap bubbles? Let's say we sit here and blow soap bubbles. You got this big bubble, I got that big bubble. Now I said, this is my bubble, that little one is yours, this is my bubble. Oop, it went. Now I don't say, this is my air, that is your air. Life is just like this. This is a living cosmos. You captured some, I captured some. How much you capture will determine the significance and the quality of your existence.
How much you capture will determine the significance and the quality of your existence, of the cosmos.
I want you to understand this clearly. How much of life have you captured will determine this. You may have a big brain, you may have a huge intellect, you may have a lot of knowledge, but you will not still live a significant life.
That is very true. I mean, if you obtain a lot of knowledge and you just keep that to yourself, then it will just go to waste. Do I believe knowledge should be shared between people? Sure. I mean, obviously, it's all determined on the person. If I have knowledge, I honestly, whenever I talk to people and I hear problems they have, I try to listen to their problems. If they figure out a solution, I'll listen to that, and then if I hear someone else that has the same problem, I try to say, hey look, someone else has this problem, this is what they tried and it seemed to work, maybe you want to try it. I try to share the knowledge that I obtained, but I'm never going to say it's a guaranteed that's going to work. it's just I don't want to say roll of a dice, but it's basically it might work, it might not, but at least you gave it a shot. You don't let it sit there and simmer, let the problem simmer.
Only if you capture a lot of life, if you're a big bubble, then it's significant. If you have a big body, other people may look at you and say, he's very big, but within you, that will not be the experience. If you have a big brain, people think, oh, he is very smart, but within you, you will not have a significant life. Only if you capture a huge amount of life within you, then if you sit here, simply if you sit here also, it's too fantastic. When it's like that, whether you open your eyes, close your eyes, whether you do something, you don't do something, it doesn't really make a difference to you. Only then you will live in the world as not being a vested interest, because what you do and do not do, what happens to you and does not happen to you, does not determine the quality of your life.
That's interesting. I tend to believe the opposite on that one, but let's hear what he has to say.
That is when we can really trust you, isn't it?
I have to listen to that again.
Otherwise, we don't know why you're doing the surgery.
Okay, that's a twist.
I mean, these question marks have come, isn't it? Can I tell you a joke?
Oh, absolutely.
A man went for a surgery, he needed a surgery, so he went to the doctor. Doctor said, this is in United States, so doctor said it'll cost you $36,000. Then he said, doctor, I cannot pay that, I don't have insurance. Then doctor said, don't worry, you pay $3,000 per month.
Whew, Jesus, that's still a lot.
The patient said, but that looks like a car payment, you know.
What kind of car is that? $3,000 a month. That's whew.
Installment to buy a car. The doctor smiled and said, yes, I am buying a car.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. A car payment, dude. That is. Wow. That's. Whenever I'm looking at car, that's more than a car. That's like that's even more than a house payment in my books. Oh, I gotta listen to that part again. If it happens, it depends on the outside outcome. Where's that one part? Sorry, I gotta listen to this again.
It went. Now I don't say this.
If you wanna pause, stop right here. It's perfect. Fine. I gotta listen to this again because it sounded like he said one thing, but it went another way in my mind. It's like I was confused. I have to hear this again.
This is my air, that is your air. Life is just like this. This is a living cosmos. You captured some, I captured some. How much you capture will determine the significance and the quality of your existence. I want you to understand this clearly. How much of life have you captured will determine this. You may have a big brain, you may have a huge intellect, you may have a lot of knowledge, but you will not still live a significant life. Only if you capture a lot of life, if you're a big bubble, then it's significant.
Okay, so there it is. Okay, so I'm assuming you can capture… basically he's saying you can capture a lot of intelligence, but you don't necessarily live a significant life, which I do agree. You can be very smart, you can read all the books in the world, but if you don't share that, it means nothing. If you don't do anything with it, it means nothing. You could be the smartest person in the world, have the cures for all diseases, but if you don't ever share that, it means nothing because there's no impact on what you did. But I guess its definition of life is the fact that if you don't capture a lot of life, I'm assuming sharing or being friends with other people that are alive, then you have no significance. Like if you make impacts in people's lives, that is more significant than being very knowledgeable but keeping it to yourself. I'm thinking that's what it's saying. So that's why I was confused. I listened to it, but I had to listen to it again. Let's see what else, if I've missed anything else.
If you have a big body, other people may look at you and say, he's very big, but within you, that will not be the experience. If you have a big brain, people think, oh, he is very smart, but within you, you will not have a significant life. Only if you capture a huge amount of life within you, then if you sit here, simply if you sit here also, it's too fantastic. When it's like that, whether you open your eyes, close your eyes, whether you do something, you don't do something, it doesn't really make a difference to you. Only then you will live in the world as not being a vested interest, because what you do and do not do, what happens to you and does not happen to you, does not determine the quality of your life.
Is he saying that so long as you captured enough of life that after a certain point, then it doesn't matter what you do and don't do?
That is when we can really trust you.
That is when we can really trust you, isn't it? Oh man, this is the reason why I wish I could, like, if I was watching this here, I would ask him a question, like, I'd feel stupid to ask in front of everyone, but I would have to talk to him personally and say, I'm misunderstanding you here, I'm sure of it, and I'm not, God, I have to watch it again. I mean, if you understand this, please leave in the comments, because I don't know if I'm going to still understand this at the end of the video.
It's very big, but within you, that will not be the experience.
Basically, again, what I'm getting here is that someone, big body, I don't know what I'm saying, if you have a big body, other people may look at you and say he's very big. Basically, like you've consumed a lot of, whether it be food or knowledge, you've taken in a lot of it.
Other people may look at you and say he's very big, but within you, that will not be the experience.
Because you didn't share it. It's all just contained in you, and if you do nothing with it, again, this is how I'm interpreting it, it means nothing. It doesn't matter.
If you have a big brain, people think,
Yeah.
oh, he is very smart, but within you, you will not have a significant life.
Okay, so yeah, you consume a lot of food, but if you don't share that food, you're not gonna have a significant life. People won't care who you are because they'll just know you as someone who consumes a lot. Or if you're very smart, where you consume a lot of knowledge from books, you know, if you don't share it, if you don't help people out, people's not gonna really know you. You're gonna be insignificant in life.
Only if you capture a huge amount of life within you, then if you sit here, simply if you sit here also, it's too fantastic. When it's like that.
So basically, at this point, what I'm understanding here is the fact that you've gone out in the world and shared your food with people, shared your how to cook your food, or shared your knowledge with people around you. When you've done enough of that, then you can sit there and what he's about to say.
Whether you open your eyes, close your eyes, whether you do something, you don't do something, it doesn't really make a difference to you.
Still, that part is kind of weird for me, because it's meaningful that if you go out and, again, how I'm interpreting it, which could very well, it seems like it's wrong, it seems like it's right, then it seems like it's wrong, because once you've shared enough of that knowledge, you know, he's saying that basically it shouldn't matter anymore because you've shared, you had an impact in life. But I think it still should matter to you because you've done good in the world, and you should be proud of the good that you have brought into this world, the people that you've met, the people that you shared your food with, the people that you shared your knowledge with. It should make a difference for you. I mean, it doesn't have to, but it's nice to be prideful in doing something good.
Only then you will live in the world as not being a vested interest. Because what you do and do not do, what happens to you and does not happen to you, does not determine the quality of your life.
Okay, and there's basically, I think I get this point now. Only when you will live in the world as not being vested interest. Basically, when you live in a world not expecting rewards or payment or any kind of thanks. That's what you do. Because so long as you I guess what you do, so long as you captured life, I'm assuming he's thinking in the positives, obviously, that so long as you do good in the world and you're not expecting anything from what you do, that you don't expect payment, you don't expect whatever, you know, you just do what you gotta do in life. That's and then at that point it doesn't, like, I guess this is where I'm getting that part where saying as long as you do good and you don't expect good or bad things happen, because it doesn't determine the quality of your life. You're happy to do this, and being rewarded doesn't change it making you happy. That's what I'm getting there. Okay.
That is when we can really trust you.
So basically, okay, now I get this point. At least I hope I'm getting it right. Please let me know if I'm getting this wrong. And this one where I'm getting that because you're doing this throughout life and you're not wanting anything from what you're doing just because you're doing good, we can trust you because you're doing this out of the kindness of your heart and not because you're expecting payments. And if you don't get payments, then you could do bad. That's what I got in front of that. Now I think I understand it. I hope I did anyway. If not, let me know. And if I did, still let me know because I wanna make sure I'm kinda in line there.
Isn't it? Otherwise we don't know why you're doing the surgery.
Yes, because if you're not doing it for good, you could be doing it for evil or doing it for monetary reasons, doing it for food or intelligence or whatever. I think that's what I'm understanding.
I mean, these question marks have come, isn't it?
Oh God, I hope every video at the very end he puts in a joke. I love his jokes.
Can I tell you a joke?
Yes, please. Again, I'd like to hear it again.
A man went for a surgery, he needed a surgery, so he went to the doctor. Doctor said, this is in United States, so doctor said it'll cost you $36,000. Then he said, doctor, I cannot pay that, I don't have insurance. Then doctor said, don't worry, you pay 3,000 per month. The patient said, but that looks like a car payment, you know, installment to buy a car. The doctor smiled and said, yes, I am buying a car.
Oh God, I don't know. Okay. So yeah, hopefully I understood that last part. I don't know, I didn't pause it very much. I guess I saved it all until the end because honestly at the very beginning there was nothing I could really say. I felt kind of bad just playing the video because if you want to watch a video, please go watch it in this channel, go to this channel and watch it. And at the very end is when it started, a lot of things started connecting. Although it's kind of weird, I felt like it was kind of like I'm kind of like him where I kind of veer off topic, and he kind of veered off topic there, I think. How yogis live without food and water, and then he went completely. I mean, he was answering at the very beginning, then went way off, well, left field or something. Anyways, that's my reaction to how yogis live without food and water. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.